All right, so we got the biggest games of the season, really, for Utica coming up. And they're going to be playing Adrian and Adrian this year. It's always to kick off the season. Adrian comes in at the 3, Utica comes in at the 4 in the polls, separated by 19 votes, and neither of which got a first place. 19 of those ended up going to Hobart, 1 to Trinity. And it's definitely going to be an interesting set because it kind of sets the tone for both. And, we can see where each team is this season because last season both of them were in a rebuilding state. They lost a lot of scoring, lost a lot of their top, while Utica lost pretty much everybody. And then Adrian lost a lot too. And you saw two teams with little expectations split. Both go to overtime. So now you have this season a different set of expectations. Both teams are in a different place than they were a year ago. And coming into this game, you've got a Utica team that doesn't seem too far out of touch with each other. I mean, they're playing very good hockey. They're a lot more in tone with each other than they were a season ago at this time. And it's going to be very interesting to watch because I know I'm going to be watching that game tonight at 7 and then tomorrow at 1 because Adrian Women's had the Friday game. Of course, I'm looking at the preview, so I don't need the polls anymore. It's only really talking about where Adrian ended up last season. It looks like they did play Trine in an exhibition this season. And they get back their grad student goalie, Deshaun Stewart, who posted a 94% with 713 saves over the season with a 19-6-1 record. And I want to say that this is noting a exhibition game this season, but I don't know if it is. See, this is the bad thing, is reading the preview. It's hard to understand. But coming into it, Utica's 4-6-1 all time against Adrian and 2-3 on the road in Adrian. So it's been a rough patch playing this team, but it's a very good Adrian team. So you kind of walk into it going, okay, here's our early season test. This sets, I wouldn't say sets the standard, but it kind of does set the standard for what do you look for for the rest of the season. We talked about this on CNY Hockey Report. I expect, it depends on who shows up, but I expect a split slightly favoring Adrian being an Adrian. But all it takes is a momentum swing. All of a sudden, it can be a split favoring Utica. And it's so early in the season that I think no matter what happens with either team, at the end of the season, these games aren't really going to matter. As previous seasons have shown, these games early season mean a lot, and then as the season goes on and you learn who teams are, you kind of go, okay, and sometimes you're a different team from the beginning to the end of the season like Utica was. So you go, and Adrian, for that matter, they were both different teams by the end of the season. So you kind of go, we don't know what we have now. Like, I think if that game was played at the end of the season, it goes relatively the same in terms of score, but not in terms of play. In terms of play, it would have been a completely different game because by that point, everybody knew who they had. And I think this year is what you're going to see it. So, I mean, we'll see kind of how it goes from here. And I'll definitely be watching. And we'll see what happens tonight. Go Pioneers.